Hello guys, how are you? It's me, Yaz Rosete. My video for today would center on the requirements or documents that the immigration officer in the Border Control Department of the airport would ask from you if you travel solo abroad for the first time. You have no one accompanying you, a family, a friend, or just traveling solo, especially if you're a woman or a young adult teenager girl, then it would be a red flag for them, and you would be controlling the border and ask several documents from you until they're convinced that you would just really tour around a country, or you would just go back to the Philippines after the trip that you have declared. Okay, so if you want to know more about the documents that they always ask, please watch until the end. So this video would focus solely on those who have no sponsors in the country that they are about to travel to. Yung mga may sponsors po, it would be on a separate vlog for this because they would be required to submit another set of documents na i-discuss ko po sa vlog na yun. So today, I will just talk about the requirements if you don't have a sponsor in the country po na pupuntahan nyo, and then solo traveler kayo. Kahit nga hindi po solo, even if you're in a group, they would still ask each of you these following requirements. So as much as possible, you have to comply with all of this para wala na pong sakit sa ulo na mangyari dun sa airport before your flight, and you can already relax, right? And not worry about anything while queuing. Hindi naman talaga na hindi mag-worry, but not to worry a lot while in the queue to the immigration department. Okay, let's talk about the first one, and that is the return tickets. Return ticket, very important. You have to have a ticket going back to the Philippines for you to be allowed to travel abroad, for you not to be interrogated by the immigration officer. And I hope that you don't rely on dummy tickets, because they might discover that you're just using it, and it would cause trouble. Second thing that you really have to have if you don't have a sponsor in the country that you will go to is an accommodation, a hotel accommodation, a hostel. It's better if it's a hotel or an Airbnb wherein you're solo in the room, because if you're with other people and you're a woman, maybe they'd think that it would be dangerous for you having the trip alone because you're a female, for example, and it's your first time abroad, and then you already take a risk in booking a hostel wherein you're in a mixed bedroom dormitory, or in a mixed bedroom where there are maybe 8 to 10 staying with you per night. So that would entail another interrogation from the immigration officers, right? Another thing that is also as important as the return tickets and the hotel accommodation would be your daily travel itinerary, where you would go, what you would do in that day, and who will be your guide if you have tour guide, or if you don't have, then if you know Google Map, it could boost the confidence of the immigration officers that you can handle your travel alone well. If you haven't prepared yet, and then eventually the immigration officer suddenly asks you there, oh, that would cause too much chaos. So if I were you, I have to prepare it by then or beforehand. Before we go to the fourth document that might be required by the immigration officer as you go to the border control for Q&A or interrogation, I'll just recap the three things that you need to have with you. These are the basic things that should be with you. The first one, return tickets or the round-trip tickets. The second one, hotel confirmed, should be confirmed, hotel accommodation or Airbnb accommodation. The third one, you should have daily travel itinerary. That should prepare you at least if there are questions asked or posed by the immigration officers regarding to what you will do on a daily basis while in the country that you are traveling in, and also convince them that you really know the country by heart, that you can really make it solo, because they would always question it, why just travel alone if you don't even know which streets are these, or which streets should you travel to while in that particular country. Okay, so now let's dig into the fourth one. If you have budget, if you really do have budget, and you booked theme park tickets, that would have helped a lot better. For example, if you go to Hong Kong and you already have a ticket for Disneyland, I think that would convince the immigration officer more that you're really there as a tourist, because you know it's not easy to buy a Disneyland ticket. It's, I mean, costly to buy one, even if you buy it a few months before the actual day of going inside Disneyland. It would not be cheap in any way. But the thing is, if you're not allowed to go, then it would be a waste. I hope it's refundable, but I haven't heard a Disneyland ticket which is refundable. So yun, if you have, better. If not, then it's okay. It's the safest thing to do. Next, employment documents. So dito na talaga dapat kompleto po yung lahat ng dokumentong maaaring hingin ng immigration officer. So I'd just like to point out in this vlog that I would center on, or I would focus naman sa mga hired ng private companies. I would focus on those travelers who are employed by private companies, not public or not the government employees, because they have separate documents to submit to the officer. Okay, so again, for those employed by private companies, I have here the list. First, make sure you have a signed COE, Certificate of Employment. And then in your COE, if possible, you have to have the income stated there, or if you have the contract with a company, it's better as long as they see your income. Second, you have to have an approved leave of absence, and make sure that the company has included in your in your LOE the details, or the HR whom they can contact whenever they have questions. And same with the COE. I mean, by default, ganun naman talaga dapat yung content, the name of the company, and etc. etc. Make sure you also have your ITR, so that if they asked it from you, you could easily provide it. Better if you're already employed 2 years by the company, then you could present at least two, because that's what they require anyway. Even if you're not employed by the government, they still sometimes require an income tax return form. Okay, so again, those who are employed by private companies, you should have first COE, Certificate of Employment. Make sure that your income is indicated there. And then if possible, if you have the contract, then better present it as well. And leave of absence, LOA, leave of absence approved by your immediate supervisor, and one which has the contact details of those in charge in your company na nag-approve ng leave mo, or those who supervises you in your type of designation. So I hope you have all those documents para again and again, hindi na po kayo masyadong mabigyan ng sakit ng ulo ng immigration officer, or hindi nyo na rin bigyan po ng loophole pa yung immigration officer to question you with a lot more things. Bakit wala kayo nito? Bakit wala kayo niyan? But I still hope and pray that you'd still be able to answer them confidently. If ever you miss a thing or two that they require, then answer them with all honesty and with all confidence why you don't have those documents na nire-require nila, and mafe-feel naman nilang you are very authentic. I mean, you're really sincere and honest, and they might as well consider even if you miss a thing or two that they require. Last, nilagay ko po to sa last talaga. By the way, if you have the employee ID, bring it. Yeah, bring your employee ID. Bring a copy of your employer's ID as well. They might require it from you also. So yun, before I go to the last one, let me just say this, that even if you comply all these documents, my May chance pa rin na pwedeng ma-offload pa rin tayo if talagang yun yung nakikitang feeling ng officer, is better na decision nilang gagawin. We don't know what their basis would be, but probably they'll think that you're not capable of traveling alone, or it might be that they really suspect that you would work on the country that you will go to. So wala na po akong masasabi about those things, but positive lang po tayo. Just comply all these things and hope or better pray that the travel would really be given, or you will really be allowed to travel outside. It's our right to travel, but we still need the approval of the officers. That's a little sad. It's a little sad. So the last thing that you must have is the proof of fund, or the bank statement and bank certificates. So kailangan nyo po ng active na may average daily balance, talagang nakikita na bank statement. Also, same as true with the bank certificate, even if yung total amount lang po yung nandun, mas mabuti na rin na merong average daily balance, because that's what they require. So actually, last time po na na-offload ako, they required 3 months, preferably 3 to 6 months na activity na makikita. So bank statement, that's what they want. And if you couldn't provide it to them, I saw some other Filipinos who were also in the border control that I was in. They presented na lang the bank app, and may pumayag naman po talaga ng mga officers. Yun nga lang, there were questions about who gave you this sum of money, or why is your income not in this bank, because kino-compare nila yung monthly income mo sa pumapasok po na income sa account nyo. So it could be a different case kung sa inyo na po na turn, but I'm just presenting you some sample scenarios na na-observe ko po while in the border control, kasi maririnig nyo po may windows doon, and then andun lang kayo sa queuing area mag-aantay, but especially sa Cebu po, open lang talaga, so you will really hear what they will ask from fellow Filipinos na hold din po ng officers. Okay, so I hope my vlog helps you, or this video helps you prepare your documents, and hope you really gather this as early as possible, as soon as possible. Pag nakabook na po kayo ng ticket, good luck po. Sana makuha or madala nyo pa rin lahat po ng documents na hihingin nila doon. And yeah, I wish you luck. I wish you the best in your travel. Hope you enjoy wherever country you want to go to. And I hope that you'd always be honest with the documents that you present, or I hope that the documents that you present to the Philippine government are all legit, para wala na po tayong dapat panagutan pa. I thank you for listening to my vlog. For watching my video. See ya.